Hello, good morning. Just coming up to 4 a.m. on Friday the 14th of May, and I'm up early because I'm starting my first 300km DIY audax of the year. In fact, this will be the longest ride I've done since my 600km DIY last July. So because of the lockdown, I'm a little bit behind my fitness where I would normally be this time of the year. A bit nervous as well, actually. I didn't do all the mileage I would have normally done through the winter, but I did do a lot of local riding, so I really enjoyed that. It gave me some ideas for some tours this year as well. I've already done 5 or 6 200s so far since the end of lockdown, so I feel I'm ready to step up to 300, but I always feel that the jump from 200 to 300 is always quite a big one. Today's route then is going from Bath down the Wylye Valley to Salisbury, where I'm hoping to get some breakfast outside at Greg's, and then further southeast before I then dip down south through the New Forest to Lymington. I'll do my turn at Lymington, then come back through Ringwood, over Cranbourne Chase to Shaftsbury, along to Gillingham, then I'll start climbing up towards Glastonbury, north from Glastonbury through Godney, and then there's a climb I haven't done for quite a few years. It's the Old Wells Road up onto the Mendips, and then dropping down Chew Lake and coming back along the River Avon. The maximum time allowance I've got for this ride is 21 hours and 9 minutes. So if I start off at 5 a.m, I think that gives me till 9 minutes past 2 tomorrow morning. So it's quite generous. My plan on this ride is not to film too much. I'm just going to do some vlog type updates whenever I stop. Just before I start, a quick bit about the food that I carry on these longer rides. On the top tube bag, easy access on the ride, there's fig rolls and Haribos in there. I find fig rolls quite good for slow release carbohydrate, the Haribos for instant hit, and I've got a replacement for that later on in the ride. I do find though that further into the ride I go, the less I want sweet, the more savoury. I find these protein bars really good for a mid-afternoon burst of energy, and also I've got rice cakes as well, and hopefully a bacon and sausage sandwich for breakfast on the road. It's 7:15 in the morning now, and I've just stopped near Codford in the Wylye Valley. I always try and stop here and just to doff my cap for a few minutes, pay respect. A quick update from south of Salisbury. I got to Salisbury about 8:30, made really good time. There was a little bit of drizzle as I left Bath, and then it picked up again in the Wylye Valley. It's forecast to be clear today, but I'll take that with a pinch of salt. The great thing is the wind speeds are low. I'm making good progress. I'm now south of Salisbury, heading down through the New Forest. Just about to enter the New Forest National Park. I'm just bypassing this ford here. You may see by the marker it's up to over a foot due to the recent rainfall, but I wouldn't risk that because first of all it's slippery, and you may see it's almost like cobble formation going underneath that quadrangle, and I've ridden through that before and caught my wheel in that and nearly gone down. Anyway, just up that hill, that's the New Forest right now. Really looking forward to experiencing riding through that, the ponies and just the scenery really, as we sort of make our way down to the halfway point. I've just completed about 2 kilometres of off-road. It's all gravel, it's perfectly legal to ride it. In fact, it's a designated mountain bike track. What it does is it avoids a bit of nasty A road, which I rode last year actually on this ride. I rerouted it for this year. It's a bit of a drag and had a headwind and a lot of traffic about 5 miles into Lymington. The alternative is this, it's really nice. Up to now it's been really nice, just that 2 kilometres of gravel track. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. Left now, the final leg, down to the coast. It's 12:10 and I'm now down at the Solent in the busy town of Lymington. I've just stopped right next to the gold painted post box from the 2010 Olympics, marking the success of local lad Ben Ainsley. Probably not going to stop and have my lunch here. I'm going to press on a little bit up towards Ringwood. This is just a little bit too busy for my liking. Up the hill, turn right, and then basically turn round and head home. Quick update, I'm now just passing through Shaftsbury, the leg between Tollard Royal and the top of Zigzag Hill before you drop down into Shaftesbury. It always has been the killer. It doesn't get any easier, that's for sure. Doing okay for time. There's quite a fast stretch now into Gillingham. Then there's a long climb up to Tinker's Hill. And actually the descent into Bruton is probably harder than the ascent up to Tinker's Hill, just because of the road surface and a few little drags uphill. After that, it's quite a nice stretch across to Glastonbury, going past where I camped last week actually, and then north through Godney, skirting around Wells, and then Old Bristol Road, climbing over the Mendips. That'll be the last really big climb of the ride. Be doing that probably just as it's getting dusk. Probably put some music on my phone to get me up there. Anyway, next stop, Bruton. 7:15 now, and I'm approaching Glastonbury on Canardmore Drove. This is the spot I spoke to you last week when I looked at those lambs, and they're still there doing their thing, running up and down that mound. I'm probably going to have to stop at Glastonbury and top my fluids up, maybe even have to wait about 10 minutes just to give my Garmin a charge. I really fancy something savoury. I might see if there's a chip shop open and just get some sausages or something like that. Now in Glastonbury, stopped at the chip shop, got a couple of outside tables, a couple of sausages and batter. That's what I really fancy. I always go with my cravings on a can of fizzy drink. Going to be turning north very shortly, heading up through Godney, round the outskirts of Wells, and then I'm taking the Old Bristol Road. That literally is a Roman road that goes straight over the Mendips, drops down the Chew Valley Lake, and then the last leg home. Skirting around the edge of Wells, just past through Fenny Castle and Godney, but before the daylight goes, I'll show you what's coming up the Mendips, about 1,000 feet or so up there. That's going to be fun after 165 miles. I feel alright actually, had some sausages at Glastonbury, absolutely done the trick, but quite looking forward to getting home in my bed, I have to say. Probably the next update will be from Bath. I'm back in Bath. I'm just crossing the River Avon behind the Lidl's store. I'm about a mile from my home, so barring accidents I'm going to finish. Really enjoyed today. I guess the best bit was coming over the Mendips. It was nowhere near as hard as I'd sort of bigged it up to be. The hardest bit without a doubt was late afternoon, Tollard Royal to Shaftesbury. I've done it before, I know what to expect, but it just gets me every time. Oh, it's a killer, that was. The sausages and the fizzy drink and the friendly staff at the chip shop in Glastonbury really worked a treat. Food wise, I've been eating savoury stuff since about mid-afternoon. A couple of protein bars and a couple of flapjacks and rice cakes, sweet, but mostly protein. When I get home, I normally have lasagna and salad or pizza and some bread and butter. When I get home now, I'm just going to eat some ham slices. I've got some cold ham in the fridge. That's all I fancy, and it always goes with my cravings, so make of that what you will. Anyway, I'm going to sign off here. Well, one last thing I'd say is I don't feel physically shattered, not wrecked. I actually felt ready for this 300 and it's been okay apart from that tough section this afternoon. What I do feel is very, very sleepy tired. I'm really ready for bed. Oh, and one last thing, there's heavy rain forecast over the weekend. There's a few spots just coming on now, so how satisfying is that if I go home in the dry and wake up tomorrow morning to heavy rain. That's it anyway for this. Thank you very much for watching. Look out for each other and I'll see you next time.